In the bustling city of Warri, Delta State, Nigeria, a city renowned for its oil wealth, resilience, and unique sense of humor, there stood a modest shop in the heart of Dore Market. The shop, painted in a fading yellow and green, bore the sign Tosan's Empire. Despite the grandiose name, Tosan's Empire was a small grocery store that specialized in selling garri, palm oil, crayfish, and other staples of the Warri diet. Tosan was a man in his late 30s with sharp features and a voice that could cut through the market noise like a machete through grass. He had inherited the shop from his late father, who had taught him the value of hard work and honesty. Over the years, Tosan had built a reputation as a fair businessman, and customers from all over Warri came to his shop not only for his goods but also for his witty banter and knack for settling disputes. It was a Tuesday morning when Mama Warri, one of Tosan's most demanding customers, walked into the shop. She was a robust woman in her 50s, known for her sharp tongue and relentless haggling. Her arrival was always announced by the jingling of her oversized earrings and her booming voice that could be heard 2 stalls away. "Tosan, I hope you are ready for me today," she declared as she stepped into the shop, waving her hand fan dramatically. Tosan, who was busy arranging tins of sardines on a shelf, turned with a wide grin. "Mama Warri, my queen. You don't come to scatter my market again?" The other customers in the shop chuckled, already anticipating the verbal sparring match that was about to ensue. "A beg, now start with your sweet mouth," Mama Warri said, rolling her eyes. "How much be your bag of garri today?" "Last price, 15,000 naira, Tosan said confidently. Mama Warri's eyes widened. 15,000? Are you selling garri or gold? Tosan, fear God, oh. Tosan laughed, leaning on the counter. Mama Warri, this garri no be ordinary garri. Na first class Ijiba garri. If you soak am, eat go rise like say dem do juju for am. Tosan, forget story. I no go pay more than 12,000. 12,000? Mama Warri, you want make I close shop? No, be you talk say I go invite you for my wedding next year? How I go marry if you day cut my profit like this? The customers burst into laughter, and even Mama Warri couldn't help but smile. But she wasn't one to back down. Okay, 14,000. Final offer. 14,000 e-day okay, Tosan said, extending his hand for a shake. But you go by crayfish join. Mama Warri narrowed her eyes. How much be your crayfish? 2,000 per paint bucket. I go pay 1.5. Ah. Mama Warri, you don't kill me finish. Okay, 1.8, final price. She paused, pretending to weigh her options before finally nodding. No wala. Pack everything for me. As Tosan began to measure and bag the goods, Mama Warri leaned against the counter and looked around the shop. Tosan, you don try well. Your papa go day proud for Warri day. The comment caught Tosan off guard, and for a moment, his usual jovial demeanor softened. Thank you, Mama Warri. Now God day help me. The mood in the shop grew quiet as the other customers watched. In Warri, where life was often unpredictable, moments of sincerity like this were rare but deeply appreciated. Mama Warri, sensing the shift, quickly reverted to her usual fiery self. But no forget, Tosan, I no go allow you cheat me next time oh. The laughter returned, and soon the shop was bustling with activity again. Later that afternoon, after the rush had died down, a young man in his early 20s walked into the shop. He was tall and lanky, dressed in a faded polo shirt and jeans. His name was Ao, and he was one of the many Kiki riders who frequented Dore Market. Ao, how far? Tosan greeted him warmly. I day, brothers, Ao replied, his voice low. I need garri, but money no today. Tosan studied the young man carefully. He had seen Ao around the market for years, always working hard and rarely complaining. How much you get? 500 naira, Ao said, avoiding Tosan's gaze. Tosan nodded and began scooping garri into a smaller bag than usual. As he handed it over, he added a small bag of crayfish. Take. No worry, you go pay balance later. Ao's eyes widened in surprise. Brothers, thank you. God go bless you. Just make sure say forget me when you blow, Tosan said with a grin. Ao laughed, the weight of his worries momentarily lifted. I no go forget you, brothers. As the sun began to set over Warri, casting a golden glow over the market, Tosan sat outside his shop, watching the hustle and bustle wind down. He felt a sense of pride and gratitude. Life in Warri was not easy, but it was full of color, character, and connection. In that small shop in the heart of the city, Tosan wasn't just a businessman, he was a friend, a mediator, and, sometimes, a lifeline. And in a place like Warri, where community was everything, that was worth more than all the money in the world.